Hello, everyone. Welcome to applying for a Canada Graduate Scholarship Master's Level Competition. My name is Natasha Mills. I am the Graduate Coordinator for Awards and Scholarships at CGS, and I'm here with my lovely partner. Introduce yourself.
I'm Sarah Edmonds. I'm one of the Graduate Program Administrators here at Ryerson. So today on the agenda, what is the Canada Graduate Scholarship Master's Program? Am I eligible to apply? How to select the appropriate federal granting agency? What's the selection criteria? And how do I apply? The checklist, the process, the proposal, what do the attachments look like, the dates and deadlines, and resources.
Perfect. So what is the Canada Graduate Scholarship Master's Program? So first of all, it is a $17,500 award for 12 months non-renewable. It is dispersed over 3 terms. It provides support for students who demonstrate a high standard of achievement at the undergraduate and early graduate studies level. We will get into the academic excellence requirements for that. It is administered jointly by Canada's 3 federal agencies. So that's a CIHR, NSERC, and SSHRC agencies. So using the research portal, which we provided a link here, students will apply directly to the institutions at which they intend to hold the award. Awards must be held at the institution where the offer of award originates. Awards are not intended to be portable. So that means you apply for the award at the university you plan to attend, and you cannot transfer the award.
Am I eligible to apply? You must be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident of Canada. You have to be enrolled in or have applied for or will apply for full-time admission to a graduate program at the master's or doctoral level at a Canadian institution with a CGSM allocation. So Ryerson is a school with a CGSM allocation. You've applied for admission to your intended program of study before the internal deadline. You can't have previously held CGSM award before. You need to have a first class average, which is an A- or above in each of the last 2 completed years of study. Or if you're a part-time student, there's a calculation, but the equivalent to 2 full-time years. And you apply once a year, a maximum of 1 scholarship application per academic year to either CIHR, NSERC, or SSHRC. And we'll talk a little bit about what those 3 agencies are. And you must have not exceeded the maximum number of months of full-time study, which we're going to go over. And the graduate program that you want to have the award for must have a significant research component. So am I eligible to apply the maximum months of full-time study? So this is an important thing to calculate. As of December 31st of this year, you need to have completed between 0 and 12 months. So that means you're a current student or you're applying to a master's program, a direct entry master's doctoral program, a combined program, a fast track program, a master's program for which the degree requirement will be completed before the end of the award, allowing the award to continue into an eligible doctoral program. Or as of December 31st, between 4 and 12 months, that is, you're a current student in an eligible master's program for which the degree requirements will be completed before the activation of the award, allowing it to be activated during the subsequent doctoral program for which you are requesting funding.
So these are the 3 selecting 3 agencies, and we'll talk about selecting the appropriate federal granting agency. So SSHRC stands for Social Science and Humanities Research Council. Research must primarily be to add to our understanding and knowledge of individuals, groups, and societies, what we think, how we live, and how we interact with each other and the world around us. NSERC, that is for Natural Science and Engineering other than Health Sciences. Research must primarily be advanced knowledge in one or more of the natural sciences or engineering disciplines. Health Sciences, research, which stands for Canadian Institute for Health Research. Research must primarily improve or have an impact on health and or produce more effective health services and products and or strengthen the Canadian healthcare system. So this is a selection criteria that we discussed earlier. There are 3 sections. What our committees are looking for: strong academic excellence, research potential, personal characteristics, and interpersonal skills. So I won't go through each category in depth, but essentially academic excellence is we'll be looking at your academic record, that is your transcript. You are required to have a minimum of a first class average, which is an A-. Research potential, committees will be reviewing your research proposal, anything that you've done related to research, and I guess we'll go over what exactly that means, but is it feasible? Is your research feasible? Personal characteristics and interpersonal skills. So any work experience, leadership experience, this will all be covered in your CCV, which we will discuss.
So the application, how do I apply? So there are 2 things you need to do in order to apply for this award. You have to submit an application through the research portal, and the link is provided below. And you need to create or update your Canadian Commons CV. And so you'll both do the CV and you'll also apply through the research portal. So these links will be provided to you in the slide.
So the application process. So we have essentially provided you with some key steps in preparing, uploading, and verifying and submitting your application. So to prepare your applications, collect your documents, contact your 2 referees immediately, really as soon as possible. You should be starting now. Give them enough notice so that they know that by December 1st, they have to provide that referee letter. Create an application on the research portal. Again, the link is here. Create and update and save your Canadian Commons CV. Upload. So the CGSM Canadian Commons CV, there are instructions on how to link those 2. Outline of proposed research, your bibliography and citations, up-to-date transcripts. And then to verify and submit, verify that the application is complete. Select export application and attachments to PDF, review, and then select the submit button. One thing that we really want to highlight is submitting your application in advance. We know that December 1st really is a long way off, but it will catch up to you quickly. And so in order for your application to be received on time, we do suggest submitting prior to the deadline. If there's any technical difficulties with the website, unfortunately, it's out of our control. And if it's not submitted on time, we cannot review your application. So really try to get it done in advance.
So as part of the application, you need to declare who the proposed host institution is. So this is the university at which you plan to hold the award. You must declare the proposed host institution and department. And on your application, you can select up to 3 institutions. So for example, if you're an applicant to master's programs, you would select Ryerson and 2 other schools that you're applying for master's. If you're just going into 2nd year of your master's, then you would just select Ryerson, and you can select 1 institution once, and you can only select 1 department. So if you're applying for admission to multiple Ryerson programs, you can only select 1 program in which to hold the CGSM. And again, if you're a new applicant, you must apply for both admission and CGSM to be considered for CGSM.
So the application checklist. Again, and we've covered this, but you will need the CGSM Canadian Commons CV. You need the online application form to be complete, outline of the proposed research, including bibliography and citations, up-to-date transcripts of all undergraduate and graduate studies. That's very important. We're looking at all undergraduate and graduate studies, whether you graduated from that program or not, or even just took a few courses. We do need to see all of your transcripts, as well as 2 reference assessments. A green check mark will appear with each completed section when each completed section has been saved and validated, and when each reference assessment has been received. So you cannot submit an incomplete application. So as I said, contact your referees in advance, because if they don't complete on time, your application will be considered incomplete and we cannot accept it. So remember to save and validate frequently, otherwise the information entered will be lost.
Talk a little bit about the Canadian Commons CV. So you are required to complete a Canadian Commons CV. You can't use your own home CV. You need to use the Canadian Commons CV. And you select as the funding source CGS Masters. And then you select as your CV type CGS Masters. And this organizes your CV in a way that the committee, so all of the CVs are consistent. All of the mandatory fields are indicated with an asterisk. Once you've completed the CGSM CCV, and all sections have a green check mark, you click Submit. A confirmation number will automatically be provided, and you need to keep track of that number. So copy and paste that, put it in your notepad, and then back in the research portal, in the application overview, you go to Canadian Commons CVs attached section, you enter your CCV confirmation number and select Upload. So again, in the CCV website, you create your CCV. When it's ready, you hit Submit. You have a confirmation number. You go to the research portal and you enter that number, and your CV is automatically uploaded.
So the online application form checklist. So go to research portal and select Create Applications. It will be under CGSM program. The application overview. So the things that these different sections are identification, application, your project title, field of research, proposed start date of the program of study, number of months of graduate studies completed as of December 31st, proposed host institution and department. Again, you can select up to 3 institutions. You may select an institution only once, and you may select only 1 department per institution. You'd also need your summary proposal, a maximum of 1,800 characters, including spaces of your outline of proposed research in language that the public can understand, as well as activity details. So themes, and this is primarily for CIHR, your CIHR personal identification number, certification of requirements, sex and gender-based analysis, keywords and fields of study.
Your outline of proposed research, this is your what we call a research plan. It's maximum of 1 page. It's a detailed description of your proposed research project. You'll outline the objectives of your research, the context, methodology, and contribution to the advancement of knowledge. And the ideas and text belonging to others must be properly referenced. So this is about your citations. And we'll provide you with some writing and formatting tips later in the presentation. You also need to provide a bibliography citations page. You provide a bibliography that includes citations for all works referenced in the research proposal. You get just 1 page for references, and you can probably include 20 to 25 items on the page. You should have 1 full page. So it's a minimum of 1 page, maximum of 1 page, use the whole page. These citations should be in a format used by the primary discipline of your proposed research. So there are many different citation styles that are accepted. Choose one style and stick to it. You must ensure that all citations are clear and complete to allow the reviewers to easily locate your sources.
So up-to-date transcripts. I do want to highlight that this year, there has been a change for the transcript policy. We understand that students may not be able to obtain official transcripts. We've linked the transcript policy here on the slide, but note that if you're unable to get official transcripts, you are able to upload unofficial transcripts to your online application. Again, I would suggest reading the policy in detail, but know that you are permitted to upload unofficial transcripts. So again, we need up-to-date transcripts of all undergraduate and graduate studies scanned together as a single document. Up-to-date transcripts are defined as transcripts dated or issued in the fall session of your year of application or after the last term completed. Include 1 copy of the legend, Do not scan the legend multiple times. It needs to be a PDF file, maximum file of 10 megabytes. Black and white is preferred. Page size 8.5, so just a standard page size. The text orientation should be upright if possible, and must be readable on a computer monitor without adjustment by the viewer. And this is very important, as there is going to be committee members reviewing up to 50 applications, and they don't want to have to struggle to read your transcript. So really trying your best to make sure that it's legible and readable by our committee members viewing it. So keep the paper copy of any uploaded transcripts, as you may be asked to provide it.
Checklist. So 2 reference assessments. You must contact, as Natasha said, your referees as soon as possible to ensure they're willing to provide you a good reference before December 1st. Provide them with a copy of your proposal and your CV. And please provide your referees with these instructions. So there's instructions for completing the reference assessment form, video, and also instructions in paper form. The letters from your referees should address the following: your academic excellence as demonstrated by past results, transcripts, awards, and distinctions; your research potential as demonstrated by your research history, your interest in discovery, the proposed research's potential contribution to the field, and any anticipated outcomes of your research; and your personal characteristics and interpersonal skills as demonstrated by past professional and relevant extracurricular activities and collaboration. In the invitation section of your application, you enter the required contact information for each of your referees. Double and triple check that this is correct. The email address is correct, or the names are correct. Once the information is saved, your referees will receive an automatic system-generated email containing the link to the reference assessment. Check back frequently to see if your reference has been submitted. Remember, your application will not be accepted if it's not complete, and that includes the 2 references. You will not be able to submit your application until these assessments have been completed and linked to your application. And it is your responsibility as the applicant to make sure your references are complete and they submit everything early enough to allow you to submit your complete application before the December 1st deadline.
So the research proposal before writing. So these are really handy tips. So what? Determine what issue, question will the research address. What is already known about the issue or question? What is your hypothesis? What do you imagine your conclusion about it will be? Why? Why is this issue or question important? Why it matters to anyone and to everyone? Why is this the most appropriate way to explore your questions? And why is this program the best place to do the work? How? How will the issue question be answered? So that would be the method. How have others pursued similar interests? How is your approach innovative? How will it advance knowledge in the field? How your background has prepared you. Now who? Who are you? Why are you qualified to carry out the research? Who is the audience? Who will read your application? So these are really handy tips to consider before writing.
In your research proposal, there are a certain format and heading that you must use. They want a background and context. Provide background information to position your proposed research within the context of current knowledge in the field, citing literature pertinent to the proposal. Objectives and hypothesis. State the objectives in the hypothesis and outline the experimental or theoretical approach to be taken, again, citing literature pertinent. Methodology. You must provide a detailed description of your methodology or interpretive or creative approach. Significance and impact. State the significance of the proposed research to a field or fields in health sciences, natural sciences, and or engineering or social sciences and humanities as appropriate. So you need to state the field of study. Preparation and relevant background. Explain in some detail how your background has prepared you for this project. Connect some of the experiences and items on your CV with aspects of the research project. Why is this program the best place to do the work? So here's a sample layout. Oh, yeah, sorry. This is a sample layout. You can see it's nonsense text. But we've shown there's margins, there's headers, there's a full page of bibliography, there's a full page of writing, and it's very easy for the reviewers to scan it very quickly.
The research proposal, so addition, we've provided some writing tips. Style, be logical. Narrative is important. Avoid grandiose, annoying statements and cliches. Write clearly and avoid jargon. So really making sure this research is feasible and writing in that fashion. Voice, be credible. Engage the relevant scholarship. Cite key researchers in the field. Tone, be confident, believe in what you propose, and write enthusiastically, but not uncritically about it. Think about who will read your application. Try the 30-second rule. Can you explain to a non-specialist what you proposed research about is going to be about? So can you explain what this research will be about in 30 seconds? So we provide some advice and resources. You can click on these links, and it really goes through, again, writing tip, research proposal tips, and they're very, very helpful. So we really suggest that you go through this slide, go through the links, go through these resources.
The attachment standards. So you're uploading to the portal, you need to stick to the page limit. Extra pages will not be allowed. They'll be cut off. They won't read them. You need to upload PDF files using the PDF extension and make sure that your PDFs are unprotected. Pages must be letter size, 8.5 by 11. And your proposal must be single-spaced with no more than 6 lines of type per inch. All text must be 12-point font, Times New Roman. Condensed fonts will not be accepted. Color, it needs to be black and white. Color imagery is acceptable, but all of the text should be in black. And the margins must be set at a minimum of 3/4 of an inch, which is 1.87 centimeters. Do not introduce hyperlinks in your documents. And if you have supporting documents, such as a transcript written in a language other than English or French, you are required to provide a certified translation of that document. And we've provided a link where you can read all of these attachments.
So upcoming dates and deadlines. So as we have been pushing and really trying to get this through, contact your referees as soon as possible. Order your transcripts as soon as possible if you can. Again, you are allowed to order unofficial transcripts or obtain unofficial transcripts, but if you can get officials, that is preferred. The application deadline is Tuesday, December 1st before 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., it is a cutoff. Your application will not be accepted. And I just want to put some context around this. This research portal is for every student applying for this scholarship across Canada. So if everyone waits until December 1st at 8 p.m., we will encounter some technical difficulties. So really trying to avoid that and submit your application in advance. The research portal help desk, this is for any technical difficulties. They are open. They're very, very good at responding. There's a lot of FAQs on their page as well. So please review that. The competition results will be available in the research portal as of April the 1st. And that is a global deadline for students to be notified if they are successful or not.
So in conclusion, this is our last slide. The following resources are available on the CGSM website. Instructions for completing an application, instructions for completing the Canadian Common CV, instructions for the reference assessment form, and a tutorial video for your referees should they need help on filling out the reference assessment form. And as Natasha stated before, the research portal help desk, they are very helpful, they are very responsive. They will help you with technical difficulties, not is this a good proposal, but I can't seem to upload it. You'll notice their hours are 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. So on the day of the submission, if you do it after 4:30, they may not be responsive to your help if you wait to the very last minute. So we can't stress enough, do not wait until the last possible minute. Try to get it up there the day before or even a couple of days before if you're able to do so. So that's it for me, Sarah, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for attending our webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us and we'll be happy to address your concerns. We will have this uploaded on our page. And again, any questions, we're happy to help.
And we wish you good luck with your application.